Okay, this is the start of the online portion of this class, and the unit is going to start back with 6.1. And since it's been such a long time, at least a couple weeks, maybe a little longer, since we've seen a 6.1 problem, I wanted to show an example, remind everybody how Chapter 6 worked. If you remember, Chapter 6 was discrete math. It worked only with whole numbers. So I just picked problem out of 6.1, page 306, problem 19, Kiro's hip parade. He was a baseball player, and he had between 0 and 5 hits in a game, and these were the probabilities or the percentages of time that he had that number of hits. So I recopied this and made a recopied the table, and we'll just walk down through the different parts of it to remind you what they wanted you to do with it. The very first part was to verify, and what you do there is you check and see if it obeys the two probability rules. First, do all the probabilities lie between 0 and 1, and you can see instantly that they do. And secondly, do all the probabilities add to 1? And I think if you take the time to punch away, you think you'll find that they will. They do. Part B, they wanted you to draw a graph. And so what you can do is very quickly lay out the x values along the x-axis horizontally. And you put the probabilities vertically. And then you can guess just over x and up y, like over 0 up 0.16. Over 1 up 0.33, over 2 up 0.28, and you get a nice graph of those probabilities. The next thing they wanted you to do was to compute the mean. So let's see if you remember how you use the calculator to do that. So that's part C on this. Compute the mean. And what you do is you enter your data just like it's printed in the book, the x values down your L1 column and your P of x values down your L2 column. And so take the time to do that. Stat, edit, clear off. Clear and down. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go over to the L2 column. 77, 0.3354, 0.2857, 0.1491, 0.0373. 0.0248. All right, make sure that both columns are the same length, got the same number of numbers. Then we went to Stat, over to Calc, one variable stats, but do not hit Enter because that's what we did in Chapter 3 when we only had the numbers in the L1 column. This is the old interface. You will, on this interface, hit second 1, then a comma, and second 2, L1, comma, L2. If you have the new interface that I remember showing it in class, it was on different rows, and you just hit L1, L2 on the next column, and enter down through. When you hit enter, you can read the mean off the very first line, x bar, and the mean 1.63, we'll call it. Part D wants the standard deviation of this, and we'll just read that off. We'll call the sigma x column. There's only one standard deviation. We'll call it 1.18. Both of them read off that screen, but make sure you tell it about the L1 and the L2. And let's see, so in part E, ask some simple questions off the table. What is the probability that in a randomly selected game, Akiro got 2 hits? In effect, find the probability that x equals 2. This is an incredibly difficult problem. You're going to be a real Einstein to do this. If you look back at your table, x equals 2. Looks like it's 0.2857. And finally, one more, part F. Find the probability he got more than one hit. Probability more than one. That would not include 1 with that language, so that would be the probability of 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, of 5 hits. Punch it in the numbers, 0.2857, 0.1491, 0.0373, and 0.0248. Punching away. Quit. Okay. Quit. Clear. Okay. 0.57. Add 0.1491. 0.0373. Add 0.0248. Comes up 0.4969. Read that. 49% of the time he got more than one hit. Notice the answer is between 0 and 1, as it should be. And that is a pretty typical problem out of Chapter 6. Hope that jogs your memory and you remember how most of those problems worked. And so there'll be a little bit of worksheet with practice problems trying to remind you and drill you on these kind of problems. Okay, thank you.